Somebody asked me, or I was thinking about the other day, when people sign up for services, kind of like, how does it relate to stuff on the blog? Like web hosting. When you sign up for a web hosting service, a lot of people are like, I'll just pay for the month. I know it's a bigger discount if I pay for more months in advance, but I'll just pay for the month and see if I like it and yada yada. And the one thing that came to my mind is something that I do, like when I go to acupuncture, I don't pay for just that day. I don't pay for just that session. I buy them in blocks of 10 at a time, and I prepay for them. And here's why. Sometimes I won't go to acupuncture for like 3 weeks, and I like to go once a week. It helps me maintain, like just regular rhythms and stuff like that. It's an excuse or a ritual for me to take an hour for myself, no matter what's going on, and relax in a chair. They create a really awesome environment to relax with music and everything else. Then of course the needles, which is my favorite thing on the planet. Not. But anyway, I buy those in blocks of 10, and usually I wait till they have a special, and I'll buy like 2 or I'll buy a couple blocks of those. It's usually about 10 at a time. And here's why. If I don't go for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm like, I have a ton of shit to do, this is going on, that's going on, yada yada yada, something in my brain, and a lot of people are like this because I've actually talked to the acupuncture people about this, about paying for it. I went to Maine for a month, and I came back and they were like, where have you been? We haven't seen you, but yet here you are. And I had a discussion with them, and I was like, well, in my brain something switches when I haven't gone for 2 or 3 weeks. It could even be a month or more, because I really put it off when I came back from vacation. In my brain, I'm like, well, I've already paid for it. Let me figure out a time when it's convenient and I'll go, just because I want to relax or just because of this. I don't know what it is, but something switches when you've prepaid for stuff. Something is like, there's a shift, and it makes it easier to get back into it, at least for me. So like when I have friends and stuff, or I'm thinking about how to recommend starting a blog or doing any kind of online venture, a lot of times when I say starting a blog, it could be for a local business. Local businesses usually don't realize how powerful it is to have continued content that addresses needs and services and problems that come up for their customers. So when you look around the internet, everyone's like, oh, start a blog and make money online. When I say it, I mean that, but it has a different context, or it can. So it applies to everybody. But so one of the things when people start a new venture, like starting a blog, they tend to, and I'm like this too, we peak extremely early. We're like, oh yeah, this is going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be great. I'm going to be able to quit my job. I'm going to have all these customers. I'm going to be able to make this money. I'm going to love what I do, yada, yada, yada. And then like life happens, and then something happens, and you'll stop doing your schedule, or you'll stop doing your posting schedule, or you'll stop, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing on your calendar, you'll quit. But it doesn't have to be permanent. And one of the things that can help is like with my acupuncture. If I've already paid for it, my brain is like, oh, well, it's paid for. I might as well use it. When you're signing up for services that are like mission critical services, like you can't have a website without web hosting. It's just not going to happen. Sure, you could use one of the free services, or you could have like a WordPress blog or a blog or a Blogspot, but that's just amateurish. I mean, we've gone over that 100 times about why you wouldn't want to do that, what the limitations are, how you can't monetize how you see fit, how you're not in control of your content over the long haul, how they could just wipe out your subdomain at any time for any reason, and that's just nuts when you can spend $5-10 a month and have something forever. Anyway, point being, when you pick a web hosting service, and if you're just starting out, if you're like me and you've had monthly hosting bills over $1,000 a month for years, then it's not a big deal because I'm used to it. But when you're starting out, it would be a good idea to do something like I do with the acupuncture and prepay for I don't know, however many months you're comfortable with. Usually it's cheap. So instead of spending like $10 a month, spend $100 and have it guaranteed for, I don't know however long that would be, 6, 12, 24 months or whatever. That way, if you start posting and you're really liking it, and then you get discouraged, because it's very easy to get discouraged sometimes, just like I get busy and I won't go to acupuncture, you know, something, hopefully that switch in your brain will shift and it's like, well, I did get discouraged. I haven't posted for 2 months, but the blog's paid for. I got a free domain. It's going to be up for, you know, another year. Why don't I use it? Hopefully, I hope that helps somebody. It works for me. I do that a lot with personal stuff. Business stuff, I'm pretty accustomed to, you know, having to do this on a regular basis. And I've been getting paid net 60 for, I don't know, 8 years. So my mindset is a little bit different when it comes to income and expenses in that regard. But for a lot of, you know, personal endeavors, I do not excel in maintaining a schedule like that. So that's something that works for me, and that's an analogy that I thought of today that might help some people, and hopefully that will help you. Talk to you soon.